when I got to Classic, I was the most prepared to fish the Classic. So if they hadn't changed the information, I mean, letting you know where you were going, because even when they changed it, I still had a little bit of an advantage because they still kept a few tight rules. I won in 76. I won in 77. I was second in 78. I was third in 79. And I was
Oh my
second.
God.
And I was second two more. And by then they were starting to tell guys again where we were going. And then I won again in 84, and I won it, and I was second in behind George Cochran. I was second behind Larry Nixon on the Ohio River. So in the Classic, I still felt I was the better one at fishing. And that's a pompous statement to win. I say I'd win twice as many. I really felt that confident though, because I knew how far behind the rest of the field was and fishing in the Classic and under the past rules.
You know what I love? This is what I love about this show not being live. This is a edited tape show. And right here is where I get a chance to go back and literally show through the course of editing how many seconds and thirds and fourths you had, because that is something nobody knows. It's like, I won 2 US Opens, which is nothing compared to anything you've done.
It is.
Well, I know you've won 2 US Opens, but I, to your point, I can't tell you all the top 5 finishes I had in the US Opens. It's like, you got third or second or fourth to this guy. And you're like, but the Bassmaster Classic, and you're sitting there rattling these off, Rick. And that's what's so great about the intro going into the Bassmaster Classic. I kind of want a rolling script just to show all the other top 10s and top 5s you were pulling off, because those are near misses where your 4 wins could have been, to your point, 7, 8, 9, 10 Bassmaster Classics, but for the chance of 1 or 2 places.
Oh, I know. And you can add a lot of stories to it, that we anglers had. In fact, on the one that Bobby Murray won at Ross Barnett was his second. I had to fish on the last day in my hands. I'd have won 3 in a row. But
Really?
all of us anglers have that story. I had to fish in my hands and he got off. But it's true. I had the winning fish on, and he was wrapped around a lily pad stem, and I went to kind of yank him loose, and I yanked him out of my hands. And when I did, that story. We all have those stories.